Hello, how are you? Welcome. My name is Paula McGurdy and this is my sketchbook series, and this is episode 2 of what I'm going to be doing is working page by page through my sketchbook. As you can see, I have a lot of different things here, and the idea about these sketchbooks really is to push myself. And if you use sketchbooks yourself, you'll know that they can be a great tool to move yourself forward, or if you have an idea of what you want to do, to put it down. It's a visual diary, it's visual journaling, it is brilliant if you want to either try something new and put it in a place that you can look back on, or, as I said, move yourself forward in some way in a new direction and try new things. It is a fantastic thing to do. So I have done these series before on my Instagram, but I thought I'd do them on my YouTube channel. Last week I did the first page, so I'm going to be using a lot more collage this week. But the idea is I wanted to really step out of using a lot of different colours which I would normally use in my own practice. But this time I wanted to use more kind of tonal greys, and so blacks and greys, I guess, or black and grey. There's not very many blacks, is there? There's one black. Anyway, so this is my sketchbook. It's a cheap and cheerful sketchbook, and it allows me not to be precious about things. So I often feel like when I'm using some paper for my own work, it can be kind of restrictive in some ways if you don't allow yourself just the freedom, and sketchbooks allow you to have a lot more freedom in what you want to do and what you want to create. So this is just a cheap and cheerful sketchbook. And last week I did my first page, and I wanted it to be fast and to bring a lot of energy to the pages as well. So the idea about these is it's just like 10 minutes to show that you can make something within those 10 minutes and move yourself forward. I've brought many different types of paper because I am a stationery freak. I just love stationery. I love it. I love old maps. I've used those many times in my work, and they're kind of making a return lately. And I love the colorings on this one, so I might use that one. I'm going to put them all over here. I have a little old notebook of various different notes. I think it's, oh, there we go, mulled wine, jumble sale, Fujifilm. Various shopping lists, and also oh, here we go, Duchamp. There's so there we go, there's some notes of various galleries and artists in there along with the shopping list. And then just an old notebook that I quite like. I love that. This is an old book, a poetry book that I had when I was a kid, but as you can see, it's not much of a book anymore. I like to use old books because they reference childhood. And then my own kiddies book now. I have many of these, so I don't mind cutting them up, but I love the phonics, and I love the writing, and I love the tentativeness of when kids use pen to paper and pencil to paper even. I love that, so I might use a little bit of that. But first off, what I'm going to start off with is a few washes of just kind of greys. So I use high flow acrylics. Golden is wonderful. I love their mediums. I love their paints. Really lovely to use. Let me just get a little bit of paint off the top. Actually, I don't know if there's any in this. There may not be. Let me see. No, nothing in that one. Luckily, I have some more to hand. Yes. Okay, note to self, I need to get rid of that one. So this is exactly the same, but it's a full one. Here we go. So put that in there, and I have my jars of water. I like to use just old jars and vessels. So this is actually from a colour. As you can see, I do normally love colour. That's actually old dried paint, and it's a good way to reuse it. So I'm going to use a lot of washes. This is dirty water. Do you love that? Bit of dirty water, can't beat it. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of black in there. So look, I love when that happens, the flow of how the water the paint kind of just seeps into the water, and it's lovely. And what I'm going to do to prevent that from moving anymore is I have some little clips. So these are fantastic little clips to hold the sketchbook down. Yikes, if I can get it out. And I have a puppy dog beside me. My little baby dog. Making some moves and some noise. I might need to let her out now. Okay, so I'll pop that there just to hold the page down and to stop it moving around so much. And I put a little bit of white paint in this side. It dried. And going to just pop some over this side. And as I said, it's really about movement and form and seeing what occurs. It's about that curiosity and seeing what can come out of us, like just a quick small burst of a session, and see if it sparks anything, any new interests. And the idea is not to be precious about these things, just to let it flow. Oh, a little bit of pink did come out of that. I thought that was just going to be dry and it wasn't going to add any more colour, but sure, hey, we could just go with it. You go with the flow. And the thing about sketchbooks is it allows you not to be precious, as I said about these things. It allows you just to be a bit freer and not get tangled up and tied up about how things will look and it being perfect. And it's not about an end piece, making an end piece. So there's huge freedom in it. Okay, I'm going to just leave the paint there for the moment. I might add some on in a little bit. I say that and then I'm like, okay, I just add a little bit more. Sometimes I just have to stop myself. Okay, I will actually stop. And I will take some of this. You tell me. I remember using this. I remember using this when I was in school, and I was in an audition for a play, and I remember reading some of this out. I remember being petrified actually about it, but I got the part. But yeah, so this has much sentimental value and a bit of glue. Here we go. Just a bit of regular glue. Stick that on. But yeah, I work a lot with things that are nostalgic or sentimental in my own kind of work, and I normally don't use bigger pieces like this, but I think it's good to push the bounds of how they can look. So again, just here's a little bit of a sketchbook, a notepad. See, look at that. Oh, wrong camera. See that? It's just different shapes and forms on different stationery. I love it. I can't describe it, but if I go into a stationery shop, I am in heaven. That actually has some green on it, and do you know what? To hell with that. I'm going to actually add it in. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to add it in. Put that down. And it's almost like you're questioning, where does something go? Where will I put that? Where do I think it'll fit? Where will it make room for it? Where will it land? That's often, where does something land and where is it going to look its best? Okay, I'm going to put that over there. Right, I think I'm feeling like I want to do a lot more on the, oh, here we go, like that piece. Feeling like I want to do a lot more on the collage that I did last week. 10th end month going forward. I have no idea what that means. But I love these little notes that obviously meant something at the time and they were important at the time. But adding these in. I've used these, like those little roundy bits, those mounds in my own work in the past. And let's see, where will we put this? I quite like that, so I'm not going to put anything over that because I like the way that the paint just bleeds there. This is quite lovely too, these paint marks there, so I think I'll leave those. This is a bit bland, to be honest with you. I don't know that I'm very, very happy with that. And I haven't brought any tissue paper in, which is a bit of a pain. Next time. Note to self, I must remember that next time. Okay, so I'm going to pop that down there. Obviously this is going to take a while to dry. And just for the shits and giggles, I'm actually going to put something else in there as well. And Fast and Furious. That's how I like to work sometimes. No, I don't actually. In the sketchbook, I do feel like there's an urgency to sometimes how I work. Urgency might be the wrong word. I'm not really too sure. But anyway, I do like to work a bit faster in the sketchbook because it makes me not be precious, as I said. I don't have to think about it too much. I just put paper down, I see how it lands, and then I move on. Whereas if I'm working on an actual piece, it's a lot more considered. Because then there's room for error. I feel that there's more room for error. Whereas this way, I just want to put things down and see. That's lovely. Love those marks. And just that bit there. So what I might do is just tear that and keep that. This page is looking a bit bland, so I'm going to put that over there. And again, the idea is, let's see how this looks. And then the wonderful thing is you look back on a sketchbook and you see how it's changed and it's morphed, and how your work as one page has informed the next and informed the next. Now, the other series that I did, I've been working every day. So I've been working each day on a different page. This is each week. So it has time to settle and rest, and then I come back to it. I'll use this actually just to move this. Move that kind of liquidy paint. It's a bit bland, that colour, isn't it? So you kind of, it's a bit like thinking on your feet as you go along, right? Ooh, that's a lot. Okay. I also use a lot of, not just pages of books and that, but I like to use typography of sorts. And I have used this many times throughout the years. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the two camera thing. I have one up here and one this way, and I keep showing you here, but you can actually see there. I'm forgetting these things. It's a work in progress. Okay, so I'm gonna actually put a few just letters down here. And I use letters and words, and they're really, I guess they're more to do with, again, the sentimental value of what that actually means for me. I just do a few little drawings, little doodles, and I'm going to see if this will work. That's quite wet there, so this is just an acrylic pen, and they're lovely. Arteza acrylic marker. Yeah, Arteza. All right, so I'm going to put in that, and over here I'm going to do this. Sometimes I use initials. Sometimes I just use a letter because I like the look of it and it's going to fit in well with the page. So I leave that there. I'm going to actually use a little bit of this lovely pencil, black pencil, and just add in a few marks. I love mark making. Again, it's about not being really precious about things and seeing like what comes out of that, you know. Actually, I'm going to use my non-dominant hand as well and see, because sometimes the lines then can be really lovely. They're like kind of jaggedy and almost more organic, I think, or something. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I like that. I have to say, that's quite different than last week. I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to flip over and show you last week. So the first episode, oh no, hold on. I'm not going to be able to do that because it's going to dribble. And I do like that bit there, but I don't think it's going to allow me to flip over. Do you know what? I'm just going to do it. So that was last week's, and you can see it's quite different last week's to this week's. And I love that. You can see the progression of things. Now that's dribbled in there, but you know what? That's okay. And actually, I might even just fold that down a bit and see what happens. Again, like you know, a minute ago there, I was like, oh no, maybe I shouldn't turn the page. And then sometimes you just have to say, I'm going to do it and see what happens. And that's when the happy accents, or maybe not so much the happy accents, and you look and you go, I shouldn't have done that. But it doesn't matter because it's in a sketchbook, and that's what it is all about. It's about progression. It's about moving things. I really like both of those pages simultaneously together. And this, not so keen about this one, but this I feel like it adds on to the page. So it forms a link, whereas before they were quite separate. Last week I did actually link them in, so it felt more like one page, if that makes sense. There we go. So that's today. That is today's pages. So 2 pages. So each week I'm going to do 2 pages in a sketchbook. And last week I counted through them all. And I felt like I had started. I can't stop. I need to keep going. And there was 19 pages all together, I think. So 19 pages. So each week I'm going to do 2 pages back to back and see where it comes. And I love looking back on a sketchbook and seeing the beginning where it's sometimes very tight and it's not as free and it's not as loose, to where the creative energy goes towards the end. So follow me. If you sign up and you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll be notified as to when the next video lands. Generally, they're going to be every Friday. That's the plan. And so please do subscribe, like, share. And the more you do that, the more other people see it and the more I can continue doing these and creating these videos for you. And I really enjoy them, and I hope that you enjoy them too. So do come along Fridays, or if you're watching this another time, I'd love to see if you actually get your own sketchbook out. And yeah, I'd love to see them. Share. You can also DM me on my Instagram, which is Paula McGurdy Art. And if you want to see some of my other work in terms of what I do normally on a day-to-day, which is kind of different to this, you can always go to my website, which is paulamcgurdy.com. But please do subscribe and come and join me each Friday as I work in the sketchbook more and more. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you feel like you've been inspired and you feel like those creative juices are flowing in your head and you want to put something out on paper. And do please enjoy. Okay, take care. Bye.